Behind me are the shallow graves of many of the children who have died prematurely from malnutrition. In the last 90 days alone, as many as 30,000 children have died. It's the worst catastrophe in the world right now. Our team arrived at the Dadaab refugee camp to find an appalling sight. Now considered to be the largest refugee camp in the world, 25,000 people have already perished here, most of them children. Originally built to hold only 90,000 refugees, Dadaab is now flooded with nearly 500,000 desperate residents. The multitude continues to increase, with an influx of more than 1,500 refugees arriving every single day. Conditions in the camp are horrendous. There is not enough water to meet even the most basic of needs. Physical hygiene is non-existent. Makeshift latrines are few and far between, and the spread of disease is imminent. Perhaps one of the most tragic of these realities is that most Americans remain unaware of this ongoing crisis and are empowered even less to respond to its staggering magnitude.
Your heart literally breaks when you come to a place like this. I've been to many countries in the world and I've seen desperate situations, but I've really never seen anything like this. You see the mass graves, you see the children that are malnourished, you see the mothers that are desperate just to get food and water for their children, dads who are just trying to provide. They're trying to find a place to live. They desperately need help.
We visited the registration area where hundreds of new arrivals were being processed. There were very few men, mostly women and children. Every family I saw carried at least one malnourished child. Nearly all of them have walked more than 2 weeks to get here, braving the unrelenting heat, wind, and sandstorms. I can't begin to imagine spending 14 days walking in these unbearable elements.
If you actually walk 60 kilometers from the camps, close to the border, you will see graves as you go along the road, because children who are walking, mothers who are walking, lactating mothers, pregnant mothers, many of them do not make to the camps. They actually die on the way. To be very frank, I don't think we have the capacity right now to deal with the situation. Agencies here are doing quite a lot to help, but they are all overwhelmed.
As our caravan was driving down one of the dusty roads, a large crowd of over 100 refugees stopped our vehicle and begged me to get out and follow them. At first I was afraid because the crowd was too big, and I was somewhat concerned for our safety. Then my eyes met a mother who was crying and begging desperately. This is Abla. She just arrived today. She has 6 children. She's been walking for the past 8 days. She can't even speak because of her throat and all the dust on the roads. And they're in a desperate situation. She just told us that if she doesn't get food today, that her children may not live much longer. They're very malnourished. You know, we use the term life and death. And this really is a life and death situation. Recently, World Help has received a guarantee from the Kenyan government to expedite 20 secured containers of food, nearly 5 million meals, and another $12.5 million of medicine. They have promised to expedite it through customs and get it into the hands of the Somali refugees. I've never seen a crisis anywhere in the world where so little will do so much. Every container of food and medicine we send will literally save thousands of lives. It's hot, it's dusty, and these new arrivals have just received their portion of food and some cooking utensils and cooking oil. Most of the children that have arrived here today are malnourished. Some are even near death. These people don't deserve to live like this. and it's time that we did something about it.
Every day, I try to live my life in such a way that I accomplish at least one thing that will outlive me and last for eternity. While in Dadaab, I realize that together we can do just that.